Hello and welcome to my Northern Premier League Midland Division review, your weekly home for everything happening in the MPL Midlands. I'm David Garton. I'll be breaking down all the results from the past week, analysing all the big talking points and checking in how the league table is shaping up and looking ahead to the next round of games. So we had no real action going on during the week with the transfer window being closed, so we'll go straight into the league action. So we had a full roundup of games on Saturday. So we'll start going through the fixtures from the 11th of April. We will start with Rushden Diamonds versus Rugby Borough. This would finish 1-1. AFC Rushden Diamonds would take the lead on the 10th minute to make it 1-0. Then 3 minutes later, Torroway would score an equaliser on the 13th minute to give a share of the points. That was in front of a crowd of 330. Promotion chase in Basford took on playoff chase in Shepshed, who had outside chance of the playoffs. Basford would take the lead when Niall Blake would score in the 78th minute, only for 11 minutes later for Jude Collins to get the equaliser for Shepshed Dynamo to make it 1-1. Points have shared there. That was in front of a crowd of 367. Boldmere St Michaels took on promotion chase and Anstey Nomads. This would finish 4-1 to Anstey Nomads. It was the Nomads that took the lead on the 9th minute when Tendai Chizitsa scored. The second goal would come in on the 34th minute when Corey Grantham would score. Then by the break, it was 3-0 when Tendai Chizitsa scored his third goal. Scored the third goal, his second of the day, on the 43rd minute. Anstey Nomads would make it 4-0 on the 56th minute when Tristan Thomas made it 4. Boldmere would get one back late in the game on the 83rd minute when Talani Amatola scored. That was in front of a crowd of 171. We then move on to relegation threatened Bourne Town, who took on promotion chasing Carlton Town. This would finish 2-1 to Carlton Town. Carlton Town would take the lead on the 14th minute when Kyle Sargent would score. On the 63rd minute, captain Zach Allen would get the equaliser for Bourne Town. But then Carlton Town managed to get a winner deep into injury time in the 92nd minute when Oliver Clark scored. That was in front of a decent crowd of 423. We then move on to relegation-threatened Coventry Sphinx, took on Sutton Coldfield Town. This would finish 3-1 to Sutton Coldfield Town. So Sutton Coldfield Town would take the lead when Aimee Laketti would score in the 36th minute. It was then made 2-0 when Reece Gibson scored in the 64th minute. Coventry Sphinx would get back into the game late on in the 82nd minute when Raymond Poku was scored to make it 2-1. Ryan Shaw would then score on the 89th minute to make it 3-1 to Sutton Coldfield Town. But then Ryan Shaw would then see a red card in the 96th minute. So suspension late on in the season there. But that would finish 3-1 and Sutton Coldfield took all 3 points. That was in front of a crowd of 74. Lichfield City, who had an outside chance of the playoffs, took on relegation threatened Bedworth United. This would finish 3-1 to Bedworth United. So Bedworth United would take the lead on the 21st minute when Matty Shipman would score. Lichfield City would get the equaliser right on half-time with Harvey Smith scoring on the 45th minute. Second half, Sam Hewitt would give Bedworth United a 2-1 lead on the 61st minute. And then on the 68th minute, Teddy Rowe would score 2 weeks in a row to make it 3-1 to Bedworth United and take all 3 points back to Bedworth. That was in front of a crowd of 218. Long Eaton United would then take on Mickleover. They finished 4-2 to Long Eaton United, so plenty of goals in this game. So Long Eaton United would take the lead on the 10th minute when Evan Garnett would score to make it 1-0. Only for Mickleover to score 2 goals within 2 minutes. Manny Noquette scored in the 12th minute and the 14th minute to make it 2-1 to Mickleover. Going into the break, Long Eaton would then get the equaliser when Evan Garnett would score in the 49th minute to make it 2-2. Garnett would then complete his hat-trick on the 60th minute to make it 3-2. Then Dexter Walters, I believe he's a former Bedworth United player, a couple of seasons ago, would make it 4-2 deep into injury time on the 96th minute in front of a crowd of 178. Racing Club Warwick, promotion chasing Racing Club Warwick, pushing for that playoff place. We're playing Coleshill Town, who are holding that last playoff place at the moment. This would finish 4-1 to Racing Club Warwick. So James Harding would score on the 15th minute to make it 1-0. Then Archie Hamp would score on the 67th minute to make it 2-0. Harding would then get his second of the day on the 69th minute to make it 3-1. Coleshill Town would get one back with Daniel Brooks scoring in the 71st minute to make it 3-1. Then Archie Hamp would score 6 minutes later to make it 4-1 and give all 3 points to the home team, Racing Club Warwick. That was in front of a crowd of 253. Relegated Rugby Town took on promotion chase in Wellingborough Town. Rugby Town, this finished 2-2. It was Rugby Town that took the lead on the first minute when rival Maryleborough scored. Sam Warburton, when they'd scored in the 10th minute, getting an equaliser for Wellingborough Town. Wellingborough Town would then go into the lead on the 54th minute when James Clifton scored to make it 2-1. But then rival Maryleborough would then get his second goal in the 73rd minute to make it 2-2. That was in front of a good crowd of 264. St Neots Town took on Corby Town. So relegation threatened St Neots Town, desperate for the points here. Won this 2-0. MJ Mwembe scored in the 39th minute to make it 1-0 to St Neots Town. And then Richard and Neo Noel would then score in the 54th minute to make it 2-0. So all 3 points go to relegation threatened St Neots Town there. That was in front of a decent crowd of 352. Right. So we'll go straight to the table here. So Anstey Nomads are still atop on goal difference. Anstey and Carlton both on 86 points. Basford now guaranteed a playoff spot. So we're down to 2 places from 6 teams with a chance to grab a spot there. So we'll just have a quick look at the table. So obviously we'll go top to bottom here. So Anstey on 86, Carlton 86. Basford are on 66, can't be caught now. So they're guaranteed a playoff spot. Belper on 62, Coleshill Town on 62. Coleshill Town, real bad form at the moment. So that's the playoff positions. Just outside the playoff places, you've got Warwick on 59. So there's only a 3-point gap there. Wellingborough on 58, Shepshed on 57, Lichfield on 57. I do think maybe Shepshed and Lichfield is going to be too much of an ask to get into the playoffs there, but I do, and possibly even Wellingborough. I think Warwick really got a chance if Coleshill Town don't sort themselves out at the moment. We'll just go down the rest of the table. So Rushden Diamonds then on 54, Corby on 54, Sutton Coldfield Town on 53, Long Eaton United on 52, Mickleover 52, Boldmere St Michaels 51. We'll leave that there for there. We'll then take a look at the relegation places. We now have 2 confirmed relegation places in the Northern Premier League Midland Division. Rugby Town were relegated last week, and now Coventry Sphinx have joined them. So 2 spots have been confirmed, with 2 spots still to decide. Now, Bedworth United are 5 points clear at the moment, with 2 games to go, and with a superior goal difference, you'd like to think they're safe, but you never know in football. St Neots Town do have a very difficult run in at the moment, so I'm not too sure they're going to get the points needed, but you never know in football. Bourne Town have probably an easier running compared to St Neots. Bourne Town always seem to find a way to score goals, so you never know with them really. But we'll go through the bottom of the table, bottom to top. So Rugby Town 34 relegated, Coventry Sphinx 41 relegated, Bourne Town and St Neots both on 43, both with a -14 goal difference. Bedworth United then on 48 with -6. Rugby Borough on 49, so they effectively are safe because of goal difference. And Loughborough Students, who've been on a good run at the moment, they're on 49 as well. So effectively, they're safe as well. So, just bear me a second. I'm just going through. I thought I missed something there, but I didn't. Did I miss? I think I've missed the Loughborough Students. I just want to go back a second. I missed out the Loughborough Students result there when I was going through it. I'm not wearing my glasses. I thought I missed something there, so bear with me a second. So Loughborough Students won as well. So relegation of Loughborough Students beat Belper Town in the playoffs. Tabena Egameru scored on the 29th minute to make it 1-0. Belper Town would get an equaliser on the 58th minute. Then Tabena Egameru would score again on the 70th minute to make it 2-1. That was in front of a crowd of 189. I'm not too sure I missed that. I'm going off a list in front of me. It's very poor. I do apologise. So there we go. That is the league tables at the moment. Just bear me a second. Just trying to get something else in front of me here. What I wanted to just cover this week as well is the top goal scorers in division. We haven't mentioned this. So Long Eaton United, they've got the top goal scorer, Evan Garton, who scored 25 goals this season. Now, in a team that struggled this year, at one point I thought they were going to go for playoffs, and then they weren't. But to have a striker with 25 goals is absolutely unbelievable. We then got Ashley Chambers on 20 for Carlton Town, Lamin Mena on 18 for Carlton Town, James Harding for Racing Club Warwick on 16, Ashton Shortland for Loughborough Students 15, Will Jones for Wellingborough 15, James McGrady for Sutton Coldfield Town on 14, Jude Collins, Jude Collins on 14 for Shepshed Dynamo, Archie Hamp for Racing Club Warwick with 13, Harvey Williams, St Neots 13, Reese Gibson for Sutton Coldfield 13, Corey Graham at Anstey 12, Paddy Webb for Mickleover 11. Now, Rugby Borough, rival Maribor, has got 11 goals. Like I say, for a team down who were relegated, that's a lot of goals there. Robbie Ellis for Bourne, who's got 11. Zach Allen, the captain for Bourne, has got 11. Jesse Friend has got 10 for Shepshed Dynamo. Then we look at Belper, we've got Kevin Bastos with 10 and Liam Ram with 10 as well. So I just thought I'd go through the top goal scorers in the division as well. Right, so that is the review show for this week. Very short. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. I'm all over the place today. It's Sunday morning. It's very early. So we've got some fixtures to go through and some predictions for next week. So we've got no midweek action. We've got plenty of games on the 18th of April. So we've got a 4 round up a game. So we'll go through the fixtures here and I'll give some predictions. So we've got Basford versus Rugby Borough. I've gone for 2-1 to Basford here. I think they're just going to be on a good run towards the end of the season. Bourne Town versus Boldmere. I'm going to go for 1-0 to Bourne Town. Coleshill Town versus Corby Town. I think it's going to be a 1-1 draw, which is probably going to lead to a final day of the season action for that last playoff spot. Coventry Sphinx versus Long Eaton United. I'm going for 2-0 to Long Eaton United. Lichfield City versus AFC Rushden Diamonds. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw there. Loughborough Students versus Racing Club Warwick. I'm going to go for a 2-0 victory for Racing Club Warwick. I think they are going to push that playoff place. Mickleover versus Belper Town. I'm going to go for 2-0 to Belper Town. Rugby Town versus Bedworth United. I'm going to go for 2-0 for Bedworth United. St Neots Town versus Anstey Nomads. I'm going to go for a 2-0 victory there for Anstey Nomads. I think their run at the top is going to continue. Sutton Coldfield Town versus Carlton Town. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw here. I think Carlton are going to drop points and Anstey are going to be a couple of points clear by the end of the day on Saturday. And then Wellingborough Town versus Shepshed Dynamo. I think it's going to be a 2-2 draw, which will then take both those teams out of the playoff contentions. Obviously, as usual, if you let me know in your comments what you think the results are going to be this week, if you agree or disagree with myself. As usual, again, please check out Club social media outlets for highlights. I've already watched Racing Club Warwick's from Saturday. They posted theirs very quick yesterday as well, which is really good to see. So plenty of highlights to enjoy across the league. Right, so that's it for this week's review of the Northern Premier Midland Division. Hope you've enjoyed the show. If you do, like, subscribe and share. Please leave your comments below. I'll be back next week to break it all down again then. Until then, please enjoy your football.